gentlemen, after an introduction like that, I think I perhaps ought to stop now. And it's a real pleasure and an honour and a privilege for me to be able to come here and to speak to the Taplow branch. It is some 33 years ago that I last spoke to the Taplow branch, and it's around about 35 years ago that I came here to this house when John Page was living here. And so I'd like to pay particular tribute to Pages and thank them for holding this meeting, because John Page was a tremendous supporter of the Beaconsfield Supper Club. He used to come to all our meetings, and he was the most enthusiastic conservative you would ever meet. He was always tremendously positive, and he'd probably be groaning at some of the things I'm going to say in my speech. But he was a wonderful, wonderful person. I've read his autobiography, and he was also very witty and very humorous. So that's the first thing I'd like to do. Taplow branch, and I thank George Sandy and Sandtop for inviting me. 33 years ago were the halcyon days. I have been Treasurer and Chairman of the Beaconsfield Association for some 10 years. We had increased our annual income from 30,000 to 100,000. We started the Supper Club, we started the Churchill Club, we got an environment group. We were paying £20,000 a year to central office. We were also paying for the full-time agent in Slough, and of the association, the branches in the association, Taplow was one of the top dogs. They always punched above their weight, because within Taplow there was this tremendous esprit de corps. So the branch always did things together. When they came to the Supper Club, they all came in a big group, and they all sat down at the tables together. And when we were fighting elections, as we did in Slough, and we took over the running of the elections in Slough, they were great participants. So Taplow has got a very fond place in my memory for all the work that they did. Coming on to what I was asked to talk about, which was the Conservative Democratic Organisation. First of all, let me move straight on then to the Conservative Democratic Organisation. Let me tell you, party membership, per the last leadership election, was 172,437. Today, anecdotally, it's less than 150,000 and falling. Approximately 10% of activists, members are activists, and that means that in terms of activists, throughout the country, we have got about 15,000. I have to tell you that to run a national campaign on the ground, you need 500,000 members and you need 50,000 activists. And the last time we had that was in 1992. And the reason why you need that number of activists is because, generally speaking, at a general election, people vote on the policies and on the party. But sometimes they can't make up their minds. And when it comes to marginal leads, then the feet on the ground count. And that's the crunch time. And that's why you need those activists. Party membership has gone from 3.5 million in the early 50s, 2.5 million when I joined the party, 1.5 million by the mid-70s, 500,000 by 1992, and 170 or 150,000 today. In the last 30 years, we have had no less than 30 party chairmen, and not one of them has done anything about the decline in membership of the party. And per the last Feldman review, when he was party chairman, 290 constituency associations had fewer than 100 members. Only 50 associations had more than 500. So we shouldn't look at Beaconsfield as being typical. Beaconsfield is probably the #1 constituency association in the entire country, with approximately roughly 1,000 members. Membership is so critical, and yet the last national membership campaign was done by Peter Brook when he was party chairman in 1988. Research done by Sheffield University has shown that people join political parties for two main reasons. First of all, social, in order to and secondly, they want to participate in decision making on policy. And that means that they want to either vote on policy or vote on the people who determine policy. And yet we find that there's a huge gap now grown up since the party brought in a new constitution in 1998 between the views of the parliamentary party and the views of the membership. For example, 60% of Tory MPs were in favour of remaining in the European Union. 70% of members were in favour of us leaving the European Union. And party members feel that a large part of the parliamentary party no longer support those traditional party values which are mentioned by Joy: small state, low tax, strong defence, strong law and order, good education, control of our borders, individual freedom and liberty. These are the traditional values of the Tory party. So what we want to do in the Conservative Democratic Organisation is increase our party membership back up to that 500,000, to eliminate the gap between the party and the voluntary party on policy issues by encouraging debate at the party conference. The last party conference in October, there were no debates whatsoever. There was no participation by any ordinary party member in the main hall on debate. No member participation whatsoever. And to reverse the centralisation of the party organisation, we want to give power back to the members on candidate selection. The party's role should only be to sift out the mad, the bad and the sad. And this is a situation pre-98. That was when constituency associations were autonomous and they could decide who to have as their candidate. Today, the candidates are determined by people in central office. The candidates committee consists of 6 people, all appointed, not accountable to anybody other than the party board, not elected by the members, and they determine who shall be a parliamentary candidate. And what we have seen since Cameron interfered with the candidates list and started the interference is increasingly, dare I say, Lib-Dem woke people who are more interested in careers rather than conservative principles becoming candidates. And to make matters worse, they now only allocate, they go through sifting processes when their constituency comes up for election. Now, I had complaints from Henley as to what's going on there. And in these sifting processes, central office totally dictates what's going to happen. And you end up with 3 candidates. And yet, I recall when I was chairman, or when I was treasurer of Beaconsfield, and we had a by-election, we had over 300 applications for this seat. Today, the members would only get 3 names put to them. That's totally, utterly wrong. And it means that these 6 people who control the candidates list are effectively determining who Conservative candidates should be, who then become the government of our country. That is dictatorship. This is Stalinist control. and the bureaucracy on selecting candidates has gone absolutely mad. Pre-98, the National Union of Conservative Associations rule book consisted of 39 pages. When the new constitution came in, it was 43 pages. Today it's 58 pages, but that doesn't take into account the rules of the 1922 committee, which are excluded from membership view, and it doesn't take account of the candidates committee changes. Candidates committee change things every year, make the rules. Members have no say on those changes, no say when they have brought in. They just have to be implemented. Those changes now amount to, I mean, we had one a couple of weeks ago, 55 pages of rules. So nobody knows really what they are other than these people. So we've gone from a situation where the party's constitution effectively is over 100 pages long now. And in order to do these things, we need to have the chairman of the party board, deputy chairman, chairman of the policy forum, chairman of the candidates list, elected and accountable to the membership at an annual general meeting of the party. And we need to enable the party constitution to be changed by the members of the party at a general meeting.